this is your thought process, stay home with your parents and don't ever get married. Leave men alone who want to have their own family and establish their own life and be the king of their household so you can be the queen of that household. Men who want to establish that, leave them alone. We don't need this type of bullshit. I've seen this in many relationships where this young lady is expressing, and you should always respect your parents. You should always respect the parents of your mate. But there are times and situations where the parents create an argument and then because of the argument, try to rule over their child. And this goes both ways for men and women, but they try to rule over their child. And she was saying that I was being immature to go back to the house, pack up my wife's thing and my ex-wife's things and bring them back to her and say, okay, you want to be with your parents, then stay here with your parents. Here's your stuff. It wasn't a controlling act. It was a demonstration of who are you going to prioritize to live the rest of your life with. And that's the part that I think a lot of people miss when they get into a marriage. When you get into that committed relationship, what you are saying is that you are the only person in the world that I want to spend the rest of my life with. That I know that my parents have gone on and started and they have their life. I know my children will go on and have their own life. I want to grow old with you. I want to be there to take care of you. I want to enjoy all of life with you, see you on a daily basis, spend my time with you, dedicate my heart, my soul, my mind, my spirit to our relationship, our household. But when you let a parent dictate what you are going to do within your relationship, well, that's a problem. You see, the video that this is based off of is one where the husband and the father got into an argument in the father's house. And to say that you should never get into an argument in your parents' house is bullshit, because I've been in a situation where the other parent was disrespectful as hell. And more importantly, they were disrespectful to my children because it was a blended family. It was a blended situation. So they wanted to be very disrespectful to my children in their house. And I'm not going to allow anybody to be that way towards my kids. And when I said, you know what? You're disrespectful. I don't appreciate it. You're not going to talk to my children that way. Let's go. And he told his daughter, you ain't going nowhere. And she stayed. To hell with that. You just showed me who you want to be with. And I know people say, oh, my parents are forever. My children are forever. No, they're not. My parents raised, and she said that her parents raised her to be the person that I fell in love with. Well, that's a whole nother story for that particular situation, because that was a bait and switch. But even if that being so, there's a glitch in the program. There's a huge folly that I didn't know existed until the situation occurred. And that is the fact that, oh, I see you really don't want a marriage. You want a marriage that's subservient to your parents. And that's not me. That's not any man. That's a boy. A boy would do that. So when the situation presented itself and I said, okay, well, stay with your parents, I was dead serious. If you haven't watched some of my other videos, you will recognize that in my stories, I'm a very literal person. I'm going to take you for exactly what you're saying, but I'm more so going to take you for exactly what you do. And when you do it, I'm not going to make any excuses as to why you're doing it. I'm going to say you're doing it because that's just who you are. And I'm going to say, okay, thank you for showing me. Now I know what to do with my life. Because a person who's going to allow for the parents, the pastor, the imam, the boss, or anybody else to have dominion over our household is not a person that I'm going to deal with. You could call it immaturity, but it's actually the mature level. See, the immaturity is the idea that when you leave your mother and father and you go to a husband, when a husband leaves his mother and father and goes to his wife, the immaturity is to say that those people still have dominion over your household. That's immature. That's what children do. That is not what adults do. So for a person who thinks this way, you're not ready for adulting. And you think your parents are going to be there forever. No, they're not. Because after a while, you're in your parents' house, they're going to get old and they're going to start depending on you and they're going to make your life a living hell as they get older. But then at some point, your parents are going to pass away. They're going to die. And they're going to die with each other, enjoying the life that they had discovered and created for themselves. While you sat there in your little room like you're still a kid, still abiding by their rules of the house, because it's not your house. You have no dominion there. You're a child in their house. So they're going to leave you. Or they're going to get tired and be like, okay, I think it's time for you to go back to your husband. Or I think it's time for you to, get out on your own, do something. Because they want their house. But if you're the type to allow that, then you should stay with them and wait for them to get tired of you or wait for them to die. Because eventually that's what's going to happen. Then you're left alone. Your brothers, your sisters, they're going to go off and live their own life. Your children are going to go off and live their own life. Yes, my oldest daughter swears up and down that when I get old, she's going to just snatch me up and I'm going to have to come live with her. Ain't no way in hell I'm going to live with my child. But I want my child to live her life, have her own life, develop her own life, be the queen over her queendom. Not coming under my roof and being under my rules, my regulations, the way this house is ran. No. Who wants that? No good parent wants that for their children. They want them to go off and be great. And they should never interfere with the relationship of their children. Seek advice? Sure. Need a place to stay because you're going through some hard times? Sure. But they should never, ever, ever intercede in your relationship to the point where it creates a divide within the relationship. Now, you can disagree with that all you want, and that's fine. Different strokes for different folks. But if you think you got a real man that's going to put up with that, you're fooling yourself. Just like a real woman would never put up with a mama's boy whose mother is controlling that son and is controlling your household. You would never put up with that bullshit. Another similar situation that you guys may be able to relate to. So during COVID, the young lady I was with at the time frame, she was, we can't go nowhere. We can't let nobody come in the house. No. So during that time frame, since my kids didn't live with me, and they were, all of them were adults except for one, it was like, oh no, the visitations have to stop because, we just can't, just the ones who already live in this house. But then all of a sudden, you know what, let's go over to my parents' house. So hold on, you telling me that we can go over to your parents' house? We can go involve ourselves with other people. Oh, wait, your sisters and your cousins and nieces are all going to be there. We can go over there and be around your family. But my family can't come over. We can't go to my family's events, but we can go to your family's events. See, that's that bullshit. That's that control. That's that I want you to become what I desire for you to become, not who you are. And I have favoritism over my family over yours. That's actually a whole nother video, a whole nother conversation. But it still falls in the same realm of I'm going to put my family members and the fact that my parents desire for us to come over for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Was it Thanksgiving? Yeah, it was Thanksgiving. Want us to come over for Thanksgiving. I know I was hardcore about nobody visiting, but my parents want us to come for Thanksgiving. So guess what? We're going to go over for Thanksgiving. You think I went? No. I had my kids come over to the house and we had a good ass time because I don't stand for that double standard or all those sorts of things. But if you like that, then run with it. But that's the immaturity. So what do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? How does that function in your life? Would you, ladies, would you deal with a mama's boy whose parents are controlling your relationship? Or are you the daddy's girl that allows for your parents to control your relationship? What do you think? And always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.